So we've got our nice new shiny photo widget cropper component all set up, all configured, and we have this nasty little red underline that spoils our fun. And let's take a look at what the actual problem is here. Now we can hover over this and we can get some information, but it's cleaner to go into the errors inside here, and let's take a look at what it's telling us. Now the type of ref objects and React Cropper is not assignable to type string. String and Cropper React Cropper null returns any, and various other things here. But what we're getting from this is our type definition file is telling our component what types it will accept for this ref object. And let's go and take a look at the type definition file for this. And if I just right click and go to definition for the cropper, and then I'll just double click to take us into the type definition file here, it's a bit clearer about what this is actually expecting. Now inside our React Cropper props, this is where we're falling over. Our ref property can take a type of string, and what we're passing to our ref is not a string. We've got a ref object of type React Cropper that we're passing to our ref. And in our type definition file, it doesn't match the string, and nor does it match this function, which is either null or React Cropper that returns any. And in order to resolve this, what we actually need to do is provide an additional type for what we're using here, which is a React hook, and it's this use ref hook. And if I hover over the type that we're getting inside our cropper, then this is a React ref object of type cropper. And that's what we need to specify as an acceptable type inside our type definition file. But this isn't our type definition file, this is one that's inside our node modules. And what we could do to resolve this is simply take the type that we're using here, and I'll just copy this into my clipboard and paste this into our index.d.ts file and create the other pipe. And then if I go back and take a look at my cropper, problem is resolved. And all of our errors have gone. We've got the typing for our get cropped canvas, and there's no problems with this. But what we've done there is a really bad thing, because this is something that we've got from npm. Now this is bad, and we'll look at fixing this, but now we've removed the errors, let's make sure we can use our React Cropper. And what we'll do first of all is we'll go back to our photo upload widget, and instead of displaying the image here with the preview, what we'll do is we'll remove this and we'll replace it with a simple div and give it a class name equal to image-preview. And this will display the cropped image inside our preview area. And we also need to give this some style, and we'll set the style here to min height, and we'll set this to 200 pixels, same as all the other elements of this widget. And what we also need to set here is the overflow, and we need to set this to hidden. And what we should be able to do is go and take a look and see how this is looking inside our photo widget. So let's go take a look. And I'll just refresh the page, make sure there's no issues, and that's fine. And I'll just go to the Finder window again and just drop the image in, and we can see the image and we can see the preview, and I can move the image around. I can zoom in to the image, we can zoom out, and we're confined into the canvas of the image we've dropped in as well. And it's all pretty smooth. But like I said, we did a pretty bad thing there by overwriting a file that we downloaded, or downloaded via npm. Because if that type definition file ever gets updated, then our manual edit here will be lost, and it will be overwritten with whatever there was before. So what we want to do is have our own custom type definition file, but there's no need to create it from scratch. We can simply copy this in its entirety and creates a new custom type definition file inside our custom typings folder. So let's do this, and this is very much a workaround, by the way, for the type definition file that we've got from npm. And I would say to do this as a kind of last resort rather than a first resort. And inside our client app, let's go to our typings-custom, and I'm going to create a new file, and I'm going to call it react-cropper.d.ts and press return. And then let's just paste in what we've got from React Cropper type definition. Now this is currently going to be ignored because we already have a type definition file inside our node modules folder. So what we need to do to make this one take effect is to uninstall the typings that we got from React Cropper, and let's just use the opposite of install, which is uninstall the types/React Cropper to get rid of them from our node modules folder. And now that's been removed, now we get our error in our photo widget cropper. And even though we've added the type definition file inside there, we still need to do a bit more work, and we do need to surround our type definition file with the declare module React Cropper. So let's go back to our new type definition file. I'll just remove the comments from this just to clean things up a bit. And what we need to do is surround the entire definition with declare module and React-Cropper, and open some curly brackets and then just cut and paste all of this inside here. And because we're declaring up here, we've got a error about here, so we need to remove this particular declare and just specify the class. So the good news is that problem's resolved, but we've still got a problem inside our photo widget cropper. And it's still telling us that it can't find it, but we do need to restart our client application in order for this to take effect. So I'm just going to go back to my second session in here and just shut down the client app and then just restart it. And I'll just go back to the terminal just so we can see if there's any errors. And now it's telling us we've got a different error. And let me just close this file down and then reopen it. And our TypeScript compiler is telling us we've got a different error to the one that's displaying inside VS Code. And this one's telling us that the property getCroppedCanvas does not exist on type React Cropper. But VS Code is telling us something different, which is annoying because we should have moved past this particular error onto the new one. And this is the one I'd be expecting, and we shouldn't be seeing this one. So I'm just going to close that window down again and just stop and restart the client again, because it's easier to see it when it's all consistent inside VS Code. So we're still getting that error, that's fine. And it's not showing up any other errors at the moment, so this is purely just from our compiler. And let's go back to the photo widget cropper, and it's still showing as it can't find the declaration file. And welcome to the world where TypeScript can be sometimes incredibly annoying. And I actually think I'm going to need to reload VS Code, so I'm going to do that. So I'm going to say developer, I'm going to say reload window. And let's just get the whole VS Code reloaded. And let's see what happens now. Aha! And that did the trick, because now I've got the errors in sync with what I was seeing in the terminal window. So now we're seeing that the property getCroppedCanvas does not exist on type React Cropper. And if we go back to our type definition file, and if I hover over React, we can see that it's getting its types from node modules types React index, But we also need the cropper.js types, and that's where the getCroppedCanvas is coming from. But if I hover over cropper.js, I don't see anything here. We're not getting our types inside our Node modules folder. And the reason for that is that React Cropper, inside its package.json file, had a dependency on cropper.js. And because we've now got this added manually, we need to install the types for cropper.js ourselves as well in order to get past this particular error. So I'm just going to cd into the client app once again, and I'm going to npm install @types / cropper.js. And this will resolve this typing problem. And now that's installed, we see our problems have gone, and we should see that in our photo widget cropper we're not getting any errors, and we're not reliant on a manual change to a type definition file that could technically be updated and give us a problem later on. And we've also got the correct typing for what we're passing into our ref as well inside here now, as well as all the other cropper.js properties that we've got access to inside here. And we should find that when we go and test, we need to restart the client application. So I'll just do an npm start, and I'll also need to restart the API after reloading VS Code. So I'll cd into the API and do a .NET watch run. And once everything is restarted, we should be able to go back and reload our page, and everything should be good. We should be able to drag in an image, drop it in, and move it around, etc., etc. So that was painful, I agree, and it is a consequence of using a slightly out-of-date, unmaintained package. But it is useful to see how you can work around issues like that. And what we want to look at next is the ability to actually upload the photo. Now we've got this far, it would be helpful if we let the users actually upload it to the server. So we'll take a look at that next.